there! Thanks for stopping by. It's Laurel of Lolo Van Crafts, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I wanted to share with you my my recap or my outgoing thoughts on the Crop and Create Delivered event. This is a virtual retreat that is offered by Scrapbook and Cards today. This one occurred just at the end of April here in 2022, and it was 3 days. It was jam-packed. I've done 4 of them now, and this one was the best so far. Spoiler alert, I have already signed up for the fall event as well as the holiday event. So you know it's going to be a positive, but yeah, I thought we'd just go in and sit down and I'd show you what I've come up with and just kind of let you know what I thought. So as I mentioned, it's a 3-day virtual retreat. These retreats were previously done in person, and then when the pandemic hit, of course, all of those events got canceled, and the company actually decided to try pivoting to virtual. I'm so happy they did. They really knocked it out of the park. They really create a feeling of inclusion, of community. It's jam-packed. It's super busy. I barely feel like I'm at home because there's so much going on that there's not even time for me to throw a load of laundry in the wash, which is nice, I find, because if I was doing this retreat in person, I'd be staying in a hotel somewhere. I'd be hanging out with other crafty friends and really enjoying my time and taking that time for me. So I really, really appreciate that about it. This year they had a number of additional... I'm just going to pull up my schedule here. This year they had a number of additional projects on the Friday. Normally the Friday is more messages from sponsors, make and takes, that kind of thing. This time they had a lot of classes actually, and so the Friday ended up being quite busy, which worked for me because I'm on maternity leave at the moment, and so I was able to join in. Normally Fridays I'm working, and so I'm okay with the fact that there's not too much going on because I just can't attend those. So I figured I'd kind of walk you through and just kind of let you know. I attended most things. As most of you know, I have a young one at home, and so I was doing this and juggling nursing and feeding and chasing the toddler and whatever. So there were some things that I wasn't able to get to, but most things I was able to manage. You'll notice here I have a little book. So this is mine. This is what I create. I don't do traditional 12 by 12 scrapbook layouts for various reasons. The biggest part is that I have a hard time coming to terms with the fact that if I make a ton of 12 by 12 layouts, I then have to store those 12 by 12 layouts. And the idea of leaving my family one day with, trunks and trunks and trunks of 12 by 12 albums is not my thing. So I quite enjoy a traveler's notebook size. These are a little bit bigger than your standard traveler's notebook. This size I adopted after following Layout by Mail. So this is a 8 1/4 by 5. And I find that this layout or this size is good for me to do layouts. So what I end up doing is I actually take the scrapbook layouts that are done and then I convert them. So I'm following along and I'm taking the inspiration and the tips and tricks from the lesson, but I am converting them into a smaller format. So these won't look exactly like what the original layouts are. It's just impossible to completely shrink a 12 by 12 into an 8 1/2 by 5 or 8 1/4 by 5. But I'll show you my adaptations here and I'll try and show you kind of what they're based on. So on the first day, we started out with a presentation by scrapbook.com, which I was able to check out a little bit of, but it was cool. They showed us some new products like their pops of color and things like that. The next class was actually Simple Stories, and what they gave, I'm just going to pull it out here, was the Shine On Simple Cards card kit. So this was a lot of fun. I know a lot of people really enjoyed it. It was something different. Usually we don't do cards, but it was really fun to do this. I'm just trying to tilt it a bit so you can see the angle. So this was really cool. It makes 8 cards. Now, what I'm doing with it, and I am still in progress, so I will have to show you the final when I get there. But I've got it here, and I use these shin bags for holding my in progress projects. So I've actually followed the lead of Amber Bambi Deer on YouTube and Instagram, and I'm actually turning the cards into a mini album. So that is very in progress right now. There's some whenever I have a moment, I kind of run up and do some stitching because I've got a lot of stitching to do, but that's what I'm doing with that. And I will share the final project once I've got it all completed. The next thing we did was an album class with Close to My Heart, and this was pretty crazy. It's a really big album. So this is it. Again, I'm still putting it together. I have a bunch of stitching and things like that I wanted to do. So I've actually just gone through and kind of clipped most things together so that I have access to them on my sewing machine. But just to give you an idea, so it's a very, very cute album that came with all these pieces, and these pieces are all punched out, and then you put them all together, and they've got little photo flips, tons of pockets, tons of places for your journaling, and yeah, it's just I've got these really fun like acetate pieces, which I can show you here. So I've got these acetate pieces that just sit in here, which are really, really cool. There's another one up here, and they've got some pieces that go on them to decorate them up a bit. But yeah, so this one again is another one. It's a work in progress, and I'm working away on it. So once I have that completed, I'll share that as well. But this was really cool. But it was close to 3 hours if it wasn't actually, and it was a bit exhausting, but it was a lot of fun. Rachel and I were zipping through it and trying to keep up, and we both came out of it like needing to take a breath. But we had a lot of fun doing it, so it's all good. Next, there was a video, Organizational Tools with Totally Tiffany. I wasn't able to watch too much of that one. I was running around with the baby, but yeah, she had some good organizational ideas and showed us a bunch of her products. And then in the evening, we had our happy hour. So that was really cool. We got to kick it off with everybody. It was alive, and we talked about what was coming, what had been done. They gave prizes, and everybody was just, it's just kind of a hype up. It's a lot of fun. Then on the Saturday, we started early. For me, this of course says 10 o'clock, which is 7 a.m. my time. But we started off with a live. So they start and end each day with a live to kind of wrap it up and pull you back together, which is awesome. I find it really contributes to that feeling of community. So the first class we did was Destination Documented with Megan Andrews, and Megan is great. She's amazing. I've taken a couple classes with her now, and I just find her really inspirational. She's got great tips and tricks. So I'm just gonna give you a quick peek here of her layouts. So this is what mine is based on. So what she's done here, these are all flips, and she's done this to be like an overview of a trip. Okay, so you've got like a snippet of the view, some of the foods, some sightseeing, where you stayed, a photo that you really loved, and I think this was like a view one, a food one. So it's a great idea, and then a little bit of journaling. So it's a great idea to give kind of a snapshot of a trip, especially would be great for like a weekend trip or something like that. Again, hers is a double spread, 12 by 24. I don't have that much space. So this is my version of it. I haven't put photos in yet, but I did have a trip to Montreal shortly before the pandemic that I really want to document. So I've got a photo that I'm going to put here. I am going to put some journaling here. This will be a scenery photo. And then here I've got some space to put some photos and some journaling and to fill that up. But I really enjoyed how this page came out, and I'll just give you a little. Now in her layout, she used the chipboard. I actually went ahead, we got the sticker sheet, and it's actually not, it wasn't used in the class. It's going to be used for an extra layout. But in this case, because I'm using a traveler's notebook, extra bulk is not great. So in this case, it's perfect because a lot of the stickers in the chipboard are identical. So I was able to find some of those pieces in the stickers and then use them to accent my page without creating too much extra bulk. So the other layout that Megan did was a single page spread. So this is hers. It was just really fun. She kind of, shows about some design elements, overlapping, laying a tiny bit of fussy cutting, but it worked really well to create this border strip. And I'll show you my version of it is right here. So Similar, right? It's got the same vibe, but it's just a little bit different in its elements. I've used this to document. I have to still glue all these down and put in my journaling, but I've used this to document a trip that I took with my husband and my oldest son to Capilano Suspension Bridge. Funny story there, though, which I wanted to document because I used to live just down the road from Capilano Suspension Bridge. I grew up right near it. We now have seasons passes. I have yet to go on the suspension bridge. My toddler refused to go, and so that was that. But we had an awesome time, running around and checking out the totem poles and learning about the area and exposing him to a little bit more of that because he has not been exposed to it as much as I was as a child. So the next thing we did was a chat with Kathy Z. So Kathy is, she works with SCT. She's a designer, a graphic designer. She is really, really talented. She's amazing. So what she actually ended up doing was talking with us about some design skills, and then she walked us through the latest issue of SCT and actually went through each of the projects one by one to show us what it was that made it stand out, what it was that made it work, and that was really, really cool. There's some really, really amazing tips. So the next class we did was a fun one that I was really looking forward to, and it was Vicki Booten's album. So she did this one here. Now, mine is in progress, so I'm just not even going to pull it out because all I've done is clip it together. I am going to add some stitching in that, and then I'm going to put it all together, and once I do, I'll share it. I'll share it as well, probably the same time I share the other one. But it was this really, really beautiful album. Then we did a little wrap-up with her, and then we did a mini class with Paige Evans. And I absolutely loved this one. Again, I did a smaller version of it, so this is my version. And then this is Paige's. So that's what she created, and then that's my version of it. Again, I've pared it down for a traveler's notebook size. And you'll notice that I have these little stickies. They're for myself. I am going through and still finishing off here, and I've got, I want to do a little bit about Megan's class. I've got some photos of me with, with the watching the instructor on screen and that. And so I'm going to add some little notes in there, but I'm still working on that. I just wanted to kind of get this down for you guys because time is passing quickly. I unfortunately got very, very ill and spent most of last week in bed. And so I wasn't able to put this together right after the event as I had hoped to do. So then we did a little wrap up again, and then it was on Sunday. We started at 7:45. I slept in. It was a crazy morning. I was up with the baby all night, and it was just, it was crazy. But in any event, so we started off again with a kickoff, so that was perfect. I had just enough time to get some coffee into me, and then we did our third class, which was designer doubles with Virginia Nebel. So Virginia's great. She's got tons and tons of tips. Her layouts are not so much my style, but I do appreciate all of the tips that she gives. So this was one of hers. It was a double spread. And then the other one here. Now, I did not do these. I do plan to go and use these products to make some somewhat similar layouts in the future, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet. Then we did a mini class with Victoria Calvin, who I love, but that was another fun one. You saw a little sneak of it here. So this is her layout. And I've just cut these out because I no longer needed the guide. So I've just cut them out so I can stick them on when I do my spread about the class. And so that is hers. And this is my version here. So we were challenged to go ahead and make a spread about ourselves. And so that's what I did, and that's me just out on the water last summer enjoying some time with some friends. So that was really fun. This class was about showing us how you can use 6x8 paper pads. Now, of course, hers is a 12x12 spread, so obviously it works in more, but I really appreciated it. It was interesting trying to pare down the ratios, which if I'd taken a little bit more time with that, I probably could have done a better job, but I am happy about how that turned out. It's a fun little one. So then we did our fourth class, which was Big and Small Moments, which was with Jess Forster. So Jess is amazing at getting you to, this is Jess here. So Jess is amazing at getting you to really see those those moments, those everyday moments that make up life, that make up, you know, the things that you overlook, but that are happening all around you. So those moments with your kids, those moments with your partner, those moments with your pets, those moments with yourself, and getting them down on paper. She's really, really great with that. I've done a couple classes with her now, and honestly, if you ever get a chance, I'd really recommend it. She always talks about taking you to the well of emotion, and that's really what she does. She really brings out the storyteller in me, and I think, you know, it's one of her biggest strengths. So she had a couple layouts that she did, and I have adjusted them quite a bit because she's done pocket pages. So usually she's doing pocket spreads. So this was her first one. So it's this beautiful 2-page spread, and this is my version of it. So I've got my little guy in here. So we were talking in this class about big moments and little moments. So I've gone ahead and focused on my little guy and his adorable smile. That's one of the first times he was smiling. And what I'm going to do here is I've got a photo of him at his birth, and I'm going to add some journaling there about the big moment being his arrival into the world, and my little moment being all the little smiles and looks that he gives us, how he is now, his little personality that makes every day a little brighter and a little bit more fun. So that is my take on her layout. So a lot of similar elements, and I've followed the same theme, of course, with the documenting, but it's a little bit different there. Really, really love how that turned out. And then the next one she does is, so this is, sorry, 2 12 by 12 layouts, so double spread, and then she does, and then she does some pocket pages. So we did get the pocket pages, but again, I don't use them in 12 by 12. I don't want to leave a whole, you know, trunk of binders. So what I did was I converted this again as well. So I've just kind of taken the general idea. So what she's done is she's really taken, you know, individual moments, and she's put her little notes about them. She's used photos, she's used journaling. So this is my take on it, and I haven't added my photos in this yet. But basically what I've done, this is a decorative piece, and then I've done these little flips. So I can go ahead and I can add journaling, I can add a photo. I've done some stickers on the front of that one. And then here I've got some more room, again, just because I have a smaller footprint. So I've added this vellum piece in the middle just to kind of soften it. And here I can put a photo with some journaling. And then here I've got another couple of flips, and then just a decorative piece as well. So that was that. And then we did a wrap up with her, and then we did a wrap up, and that was it. But it was jam-packed. It was chock-a-block full. We had so much stuff. And then this, of course, is my little book that I have to remember it all by. So I keep these all in a little traveler's notebook binder that I created. So I have these, so like here's my one from last year's event that I went to. So like the layouts that I made and adjusted then, I've got those in here. I have not had a chance to go back and put photos in this. This was Paige Evans last year, and I absolutely love how this one came out. This was Victoria Calvin, and this one as well. And again, like just, yeah, I really, really love how these came out. And then Lael Concar, Lael by Mail, she did a notebook, so I've got those in here. And then this was from Create and Inspire. Sorry, I'm just trying to give you a really quick flip. So this was Amy Tangerine, and we did this one, so that was just some fun little layouts I did there. And then this was the very first one I ever did. I had no clue what I was doing. I created this little traveler's notebook. This was the first class I ever did with Jess. So much fun. This was with Nicole Nawasad, and that one I fully just shrunk down. I love how it came out, but it was so bulky. This was another one with Nicole doing this kind of patchwork die cuts, which was really fun. And yeah, so it's a whirlwind anyway. So I have these. I do have to make a new one because, as you can see, I'm pretty full. When I add this new one here, it bulges out. So when I get around to doing that, I will try and take a video, as I know there were some people who wanted to see how I had made it. So I'll just give you a quick flip through here of my book. So I've just made a little pocket on the inside so I can that's where I hold my schedule, so I can remember what we did. This is just a little opening page for me, just a little bit of journaling of when the box arrived and all of that. It's a pretty big event. The way they do it, everyone gets all excited and posts where they've hit it, whether they're opening it, all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun, and I just wanted to do. I used the attendees kit to do this. I haven't done the attendees spread, so I used some of it to do this. And then there's Rachel and me. So we had decided to do a quick unboxing. I didn't get my box until just before the unboxing. And so we decided to do a quick unboxing before the unboxing so that we could take our time and go through it and focus more during the video. So it was really fun. It's the first time I've done it with someone else, so it was really, really enjoyable. And then here I'm going to do some more journaling. And of course, there's my layout with Megan. There's my spread from Victoria's class, and this will be my comments on the class page, my comments on her class. This is my other Megan one, and this will be my comments on Megan's class. And there's my spread with Jess, and my second spread with Jess. And then I'm gonna have my notes here and some other journaling and just memories, and I've added this in here. This is the card that comes. They always send a card, so I've added it as a tip in here. Just yeah, so I've got these other pages I can use to journal and do a couple more little layouts, but that's it. Just wanted to share that with you because I really, really enjoyed this. I had an amazing time. It was such a cool experience getting to share this with Rachel. We did Zoom call throughout the entire thing pretty much, and we had so much fun doing it. It's been really fun getting to know her and to share this experience with her. We've both signed up for the fall papercrafting event. And like I said, I've signed up for holidays as well. Sorry, my son just came in and ran into something. And I'm really looking forward to that. So I know there's a few more people we know that have signed up for papercrafting, but if you have signed up for these, let me know if you're looking for a tribe, a crew to kind of hang with, because we'll be around and gabbing and eating and crafting. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. Bye.